Everybody, my name is Andrew Yenner, Director of Lang & Simmons Real Estate at Blacktown. Hope you're all well. Join with me here is Lauren Wilson, our new Head of Property Management. Welcome, Lauren.
Thanks, Andrew.
All right, what we're here to talk about today, and for once, I won't be doing a lot of the talking, it'll be someone else. So Lauren's going to be explaining a fair bit to us all about the smoke alarms, the reforms with smoke alarms and the Tenancy Act, etc. Just to keep all of our landlords up to date and most certainly compliant. So give us a bit of a run through, Lauren. What's sort of going on with it?
So we used to have some smoke alarm legislation, which we saw come through on the reforms recently. As most of our landlords know, last year our industry saw some legislation changes when there was a reforms update. So previously with smoke alarms, your landlord requirement used to be to service your smoke alarm, make sure it's got a new battery, it's within its lifespan once per new tenant. So that could mean a tenant that stays there for 6 months with a new tenant, we have to embark on that process again. Or if your tenant resides at that property for 10 years, your only responsibility was once for that 10 years. But
so just to make sure all the landlords have understood. So in the past, it was effectively when you put a new tenant in, it needs to be done, as in changing the smoke alarms and so forth. But now, what's the frequency, Lauren? How often does it need to be done?
So our reform changes last year in March 2020. The update was released to say that all landlords now have to complete this service annually. Annually.
All right. So regardless of whether the tenant's been there for 10 years or just moved in, every single year.
Correct. Yes.
All right. And with that, occasionally we'll come across landlords that'll say, well, I'll do it myself, or, my brother's a handyman, or there's a handyman up the road. How does that work? What's the implications of that? What sort of person needs to do it?
So look, at the moment, a landlord can service their own battery smoke alarm. There's no issue why they can't, realistically. But look, let's be honest, it's a life-saving device for a tenant. So my feedback as a property manager would be to ensure that the last person that touched your smoke alarm has an understanding of how it works. Did they fit it back correctly? And is it in full working order? The new legislation does stipulate, though, that landlords can look after their own smoke alarms if they're battery operated. If they're hardwired, it actually needs to be serviced by a licensed electrician.
Yeah. I mean, look, to all of our clients, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I would rather spend, how much is it costing per annum for the landlords to have this, Lauren?
$99, tax deductible, mind you.
$99 per year. The liability, the compliance, the peace of mind, the tax deduction, it's a no-brainer, guys. And potentially you're saving someone's life, first and foremost, most importantly. And like we were saying, this obviously, came into place March 2020. We're currently in April 2021. We have sent out numerous emails and letters to all the owners about this, but obviously it's important because it's being enforced. We're seeing it from time to time where a landlord is not sort of doing it the right way. And the tribunal doesn't take too lightly to it. I can tell you that. Is there any more information, Lauren, that you can sort of share with the landlords about it?
Look, I think at this point it's very important to understand that if your tenant does report to us that the smoke alarm battery needs changing, or if there is an issue with the smoke alarm where they believe it's not working, a landlord only has 2 days to be able to ensure that alarm has been rectified. So I think that's probably the biggest thing to relay, other than the fact that we need to get it done annually now. Tenants do also have the provision to be able to organise someone on their own accord, get it serviced, and then send us the bills. So obviously that's not what we want. We want to make sure that we manage it from our side.
And look, I've just read here, wow, important that a fine of 20 penalty units, $2,200 for failing to meet the requirements, guys. So you spend $99, you're potentially saving $2,200. And I'm sure, the insurers also with regards to the building insurance as well, it's one of the first questions they're going to ask, God forbid, if there ever was a fire.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, so look, I'm sure what we'll do is we'll shoot out this video to all the landlords. To the landlords, please get in touch with your property manager directly. We really want you to be compliant. We want your tenant to be safe. And at the end of the day, we want to minimize risk for you and for your tenants. We have a choice of 1 to 2 companies that we use. Very easy, seamless process. So we highly recommend it. Lauren, is there anything else you want to say before we go?
No, that's all. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Nice and easy. Thanks very much, everybody.